Thank you for joining us on this journey. Don't forget to tap the bell, subscribe, and comment down below. Welcome to Hopeful Parents Speak Spotlight Interviews. I have Henry and Sébastien here with us today. How are you both doing?
Doing well, and you? Good.
Awesome. I am doing really good. So thank you for taking the time with us today to do this interview. I think it's going to be a great opportunity to share your story and all the little snippets of your life and what that looks like, as well as a little bit of your journey. So thank you for doing this with us today.
Thank you for the opportunity.
It's our pleasure.
Absolutely. So why don't we start off and have you both introduce yourselves. You could talk about where you live and what you do for work.
Okay, I can start. I'm Henry, 31 years old. We live now in Lyon. It's right in the center of France. It's a big city here. And for work, I'm IT project manager in a big medical company here.
And I'm Sébastien, I'm 30 years old. We both live in Lyon. It's the third biggest French city. It's next to the French Alps, and we live there in a cozy apartment with Majou, our dog. Personally, I work for a French 5-star hotel group, and I'm head of procurement for decoration and furniture. I'm also in charge of sustainability and all the CSR and environment strategy for this company.
Awesome. That's a great introduction. And what kind of breed is your dog?
He's an English Spaniel Cocker. He's 2 years old. He's sometimes a bit crazy. So he's full of emotions. He loves seeing new people, but he's also very,
very kind.
Yeah, he loves cuddles. He's always like next to us. Like you cannot leave a room without him following you.
And he loves children also, actually.
Yes.
I know how to do with them.
It's crazy because sometimes he can be like full of energy, of emotions, like jumping on people when they arrive home. But as soon as there is kids, he's like becoming quiet, keeping the chairs of the sofa. It's crazy.
Aww.
We are always amazed.
That's
so we can't wait
amazing.
to have our own family.
Yes, absolutely. It's so interesting how some dogs really like children and some dogs kind of stay away from kids. I have 2 little Yorkie dogs, and my one dog does not like children at all. Like she'll get a little bit like, no, don't come near me. I don't feel comfortable with you. And then my other dog is like, just will happily sit with a baby and just cuddle up, and it's so sweet. I love it.
So fun, so nice.
Yes. Yeah. So could you give us a little bit of insight on how the 2 of you met? And you could even touch on the first impressions that you both had of each other.
Actually, it's very funny because we figured this out a long time after, but Henri and I, we were born like 80 kilometers in the middle of nowhere in the French countryside, but it was like 80 kilometers from each other. So this is a funny thing. And actually we had friends in common. So we've been hearing about each other for a long time without knowing and never seeing us.
Friends from Paris.
Yes, friends because before we were living in Paris, both of us, and people were always telling me, you should meet Henri, and the same for him.
During 2 years. So we haven't met during 2 years, both of us.
Yes.
And after 2 years, our friends say, let's meet.
It could have been many occasions, like one year before we met each other, there was a party organized by this friend in common. So we were supposed to meet this day. And this friend was very sick. So the party was finally not organized. Actually, Henri went, but I didn't. So we could have met 1 year ago.
Oh, wow.
But we already knew, I would say, the existence of the other one because our friends was always talking, you should meet, you would be a very nice couple, etc. So we checked on Instagram profile, etc. And I personally, I thought, okay, so handsome. I need I need to meet him, you know. But this moment was not happening. And one day, finally, we met each other. So we said, okay, we should have a drink and then, yeah, have a date. And actually, the first date was very, very funny because Henri suggested that we go on a bar just next to his place. So we said, okay, see you next. It was a Monday night. See you next Monday.
Mm-hmm.
And the very day of the date,
I don't remember actually.
I remember very well. He told me like maybe 4 hours before the date. He told me, "Oh, I'm sorry, but the bar I just thought about is closed on Mondays."
No.
So I was just like, "Okay, so you plan something, and it's not possible to do it."
So can you go on in your place?
And so I told him, okay, you know what? We will do something kind of original. I was living in town. We were both living in Paris, and the roof of my building was reachable.
Yeah, he had a really impressive rooftop. I don't know if you've been to Paris, but it's in Pigalle, so it's really surrounding.
It's
all
in Montmartre.
Paris.
In Montmartre, yeah.
It's amazing. So it was our
So
first date.
I told him, okay, it's crazy, it's a bit very Parisian romantic cliché, but come to my roof. So we went there with a bottle of wine from our hometown region, and we were there, seated on the Parisian roofs, facing all Paris, like the Eiffel Tower,
wow.
everything. And we had too much wine, honestly. It was even dangerous to go back to the apartment. And then we've been laughing during the whole night.
Yeah.
So we decided to see each other again.
And from that date, actually, from that date, it was like meant to be. I don't know how to say, but we were, I don't know, 2 months after being together in the same apartment. And
like after this date, he didn't really get back to his home. Like he moved all these things and. Yeah,
so that's it.
Wonderful. That's amazing. So maybe let's start with Sébastien. Could you talk about your favorite thing about Henry?
What I really prefer about Henry is that he's really caring. Sometimes in life he's really spontaneous, so we can think that he's forgetting things or he's not really always serious, but for the people that he loves, he's always reminding small things, having small attention, and it's something that
attention to detail is a good way to put it. You have a way of paying attention to the small details, and oftentimes those are very important details to pay attention to, but can be missed. Yeah. What about you, Henry? What's your favorite thing about Sébastien?
Actually, Sébastien is really impressive because he's, I don't know if it's an English word, but he's comfortable in every situation. So he will talk with everyone, no matter what. So it's not my, I cannot do that.
Yeah.
So it was really impressive when I met Sébastien. He was really shining, really talking. So yes.
That's
impressive.
That's a great characteristic and quality to have. Do you guys have any role models to look up to in terms of relationships, or any relationships that you admire in your life?
I'm sure we would have the same.
Yeah, we would, because we have the same parents actually.
Not the same parents.
No, but we have the same types of parents. So not the same parents. We are not brothers.
Yeah, no.
Okay? No, we have the same parents. We have quite the same education. So our parents are still together. They love each other since 40 years old.
Wow.
They have kids. They are happy.
Yeah.
They have actually the same value we want to give to our children. So yes, our models are our parents.
Yeah, finally, while growing up, we finally realized that having parents being married for 35 or 40 years, it's quite rare.
Yeah.
So we are very proud of their couple and all the love they gave to us and our brothers and sisters. So I used to say, and I'm sure Henri will agree, that if with our future family we will be able to do at least what our parents did, it will be already amazing.
Yes, absolutely. I think it's wonderful and such a blessing to have your parents' marriage and relationship to look up to. That's a privilege and that's pretty special. Do you guys have any hidden talents or special talents that you would like to talk about or share?
Okay.
Henry's talent is not that hidden, you know.
So for me, this is one of my yes, my hidden talent, I would say, is know how to paint. I love painting, and sometimes I selling these paintings. Sometimes they are all at home. You cannot see all our home, but it's everywhere painting.
We live in a gallery. That's what he
Yeah.
tried to say.
And this
love
one is Sebastian's favorite.
Yeah.
So that's mine.
Very cool.
One day he told me like we should try to sell this one because
Yeah.
it's been here for a long time. And I said no, this one you don't touch.
You can't.
It stays here in the dining room.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's quite modest, but he's painting very well.
Very cool.
On my side, I used to dance for a very very long time. I was partially studying and partially learning dance for 10 years when I was a kid and a teenager. I was practicing Latin dances, so mainly salsa and bachata. And I've been participating 3 times at the World Championship of Latin dances when I was 15, 16 and 17 years old.
Oh, wow. And you said Latin dancing?
Yes,
Okay.
all salsa, bachata, merengue, all the dances from Latin America,
Yeah.
Brazil, and those kind of countries. I'm not practicing that much anymore.
Yeah.
Just when I have some parties with friends or stuff like that. But when I was younger, it was a huge part of my life.
Yeah, that is very, very cool. I can't dance. I would not call myself a dancer, and I usually try to avoid any part of it just because I've never learned, right? Like taking
We'll
lessons.
arrange a class next time I come to Canada.
Yeah, do some classes. That would be perfect. So if you guys don't mind, we're gonna play a little bit of a this or that game. I have a couple questions prepared for you, not very many. I think there's about 5, and you both can answer so that we can see the differences and the similarities in the two of you. And yeah, I think it'll be really good. So the
Cool.
first one is pretty simple. Coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Coffee, the both of you? That's awesome. I am a tea drinker. I usually stay away from coffee as much as I can, but I love like a good warm, like steep tea on a cold day. That's my favorite.
I actually
We drink both, actually.
We drink both. I want to drink less coffee, but I can't. So sometimes I'm drinking matcha. I love matcha.
Yes, yeah.
But yeah.
And we are actually we are buying our coffee just next door to our place. It's a very nice association. They are helping people that has Down syndrome to get into a work life. So they are making the smaller dose of coffee.
Donations.
So we
Okay.
go there to buy the coffee, and the coffee is excellent. And we are so happy to help them
Yes.
through that kind of, I would say, donation.
Yeah, I love that. Buying your coffee and knowing that it goes to a good cause is like a double win, I think. We need more of that. Okay, number 2, country living or countryside escape? Where would you prefer to live? More city or country? And you could talk about maybe in the future you would prefer one of those.
Countryside.
Yes. Starting next year, it will be the project. So
We are actually in the process to buy a house. We are buying a house right now in the countryside.
Oh my.
The region from where we are,
Where we
born.
grew up,
Yes.
yeah, we will go back to this place. Right now we are living in the city. We've been living in Paris for 7 years, now in Lyon for almost 3 years.
Mm.
So next year we will move to it's a very, very small village, 600 inhabitants.
But not far from Paris.
Not far from Paris with the train.
Yeah.
And we are so happy to be back in our home region.
countryside.
Yeah, that is so exciting to look forward to. I'm kind of glad I asked that question because that's very exciting for the both of you. So
Yeah,
we're really excited to see what that looks like in the near future. Yeah.
I'll
Okay,
show you.
absolutely. You'll have to show us on social media and whatnot. Number 3, cooking at home or dining out and eating out?
Um, wow. For me, it will be cooking at home, but from the plate of Sébastien, not my own cooking, meaning because Sébastien has also a hidden talent. He knows very well how to cook. He didn't say it, but it's really, really good. It's like the restaurant at home,
Oh, there you
but
go.
less expensive, you know?
Yes. Save some
So,
money.
I'm gonna charge for this now. I think I would say dining out because I love cooking, really.
Yeah.
But I've been studying hospitality for 5 years. I've been working in this industry for 10 years. So always love its passion to discover new places. Yeah. So I really like to go out.
Yes. And you know what? Sometimes it's okay to be a little bit of both too, right? Like it's fun
yeah,
to cook at home and kind of teach yourself how to cook. But it's also fun to go out and experience different restaurants. So that's kind of that you could be in the middle for that one. Okay, so the next 2 questions are kind of geared towards future and when you have your own family and your own little baby. So, would you prefer family vacations or staycations and staying at home? Would you rather travel or kind of experience home life with your family?
Well, I would say actually both, but
Yeah.
since we are buying a house, a really huge house, I would say staying at home, but I mean, seeing the nature close from our place.
And welcoming our friends and family.
Yeah.
Well, we cannot wait to get a place where we can receive our friends and family. So I think we will love to enjoy some staycation
Yes.
while cooking and receiving our friends and family.
I love that. That's a great answer. Lots
I
to
think
look
there is
forward to.
someone that wants to say hi.
Oh, hello. Aw, so cute. He's big. It's a boy?
It's a
Yeah.
boy.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, he's very big. That's cute that he wanted to come say hi though. It's like, what is going on?
He was like
know.
putting his foot on my leg, like, may I say hello?
Yeah, that's very, very cute. Last question for this or that. Do you see yourself being the dads that carry your baby in a baby carrier? Or do you plan on pushing your baby in a stroller?
The first one.
The first one?
It will depend on the situation, but yeah, I agree.
I think, yeah, for me, the first one. Yeah, but depending on the situation, but I rather choose the first one.
You know, the other day, Henri already showed me some of this hanging system because we are hiking a lot.
Yeah,
So he
yep.
told me, I've been reading that even very young, we can take him or her for small hikes, but we can do it. And then,
Yes.
and we have so many friends that gave birth recently. So we are always like seeing like, oh, they have this one, it seems to be a nice one, or asking for advice. It's very early, but it's also fine to get into it this way, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. It's fun to start planning and preparing and maybe even buying a few little things when you come across them and thinking about those things because it's going to be in the very near future for you guys. So, hopefully, yes. All right. So that is the end of my questions for the game. I do have some questions about your journey related to surrogacy specifically. And my first question that I would like you guys to talk about is what has led you to consider surrogacy as an option to expand your family?
Actually, how to say that? For a very long time, both of us, I think we went on the same way. It's like when you start to figure that a bit more about your sexuality at some point, personally, I've been thinking I would never have any kids, you know, and I think Henri went through the same way.
It's not common actually in our country.
Yes,
and in our also family.
Yeah, it was not something that we never heard about before. So you try to think, okay, we'll forget parenthood, and this is a very, very sad feeling because both of us always wanted to have kids.
Yeah.
So then you hear about adoption. So we went through this idea, and then we figured out that it was very complicated for people of same sex in France to adopt. It may take 10, 12, 15 years. It's really the real figures.
Yeah.
So we said, okay, we don't want to be dads being aged 50. We are not even sure this will work. So we started to think about surrogacy. I think we had 20 or 30 calls with agencies in Canada, in the United States, with parents that went through the journey, with lawyers, with clinics. We really took 2 months to talk with every parties of the journey before being sure we want to go for it. We wanted to make sure it was an ethic journey, and the wonderful ladies that are doing this journey are doing it for the good reasons. And then when all the green lights were lightened, we went on the journey.
Well, yes, by investigated, we understood that it was possible, you know. So after all this investigation, meeting all these people, we actually understood that it was possible. It was at the beginning of this year, and now we are at the end, and we are kind of really happy.
Yes, because it changed our vision of future, you know. Really, we are very happy, the two of us and with Maju, and we really thought that our life would be going like this. So a new world opened to us, and I even feel right now so special while thinking about it, because it's a new project, and we are so lucky.
Yes, you're really looking forward to what the future holds. And I think that just gives you a lot of hope. And even just talking about it in this moment, I can see excitement and the hopefulness that you both have with this. So that's pretty amazing. Can you talk about what type of relationship you envision having with your surrogate? How would you support her during her process and the pregnancy and whatnot?
We really want to be we want to be here, even if we are not living in Canada, even if we cannot be in Canada at all the steps of the project, but we really want to be involved with her, to be with her, and to be really supportive during all the situations she will pass. So from the beginning of the project, from the start we met her, since the end, and even after the birth of the child, because without this person, without this incredible woman, actually our project can't happen, can't be here. So we will adapt also according of what she wants, what she needs. And it's
important for us to respect her desire. We think it's important that she respect ours and to be honest on this, but a lot of topics will have to be discussed with her, because it's a very important thing that she will be doing for us, and we are already so grateful for that. But we will really want to respect her wishes.
I really like that you touched on the importance of discussing with her and just making sure that it's an ongoing conversation and that there's communication happening all the time. I think that's so important and builds a really great foundation for an amazing relationship with your surrogate and your surrogate's relationship with you. So that's pretty amazing. All right. Have you thought about any specific traditions or values that you would like to instill into your child? So thinking back to maybe your childhood and some of the things that you and your family did, what would that look like?
Yes, first, we would say respect of the others, humans, animals. Actually, we are both vegetarians, so animals and all the persons which are in life are really important for us. So
yes, I'm sorry to say that, but as gay people, we've been suffering some discrimination sometimes, and so now we are really like, we are feeling emotional when we are seeing any types of discrimination. So inclusivity is very important for us. Respect of diversity.
We are all different, and really it's important to that our child know from the start that every person, everyone is different. It's really important to respect that,
and that's what's so rich in life, you know. Curiosity, it's also something very important for us.
Experience the nature.
Yes,
being
we've been mostly growing up in very small villages, so very close to nature and animals, and this is so important for us, and that's really also why we are moving to the countryside next year, because we want this child to be growing up in the middle of countryside and gets connected to nature.
Yeah, absolutely. I love that. I too really appreciate the outdoors and being out in nature and hiking and just appreciating all the beauty around you. And I love that. It makes me feel more fulfilled, I think.
Definitely.
Yeah. Absolutely. Okay, so I'm gonna ask you one more question. Have you guys picked out any baby names yet? Do you have any thoughts or ideas? And you don't have to share if you don't want to, but
we won't share exactly the names, but it's because it's really symbolic.
Yeah.
It's symbolic. So yes, we hold it.
It's funny because we've been talking about this, I wouldn't say the very first day, but for a very long time, even before knowing we would go on a surrogacy journey.
And for me, it's symbolic for the boy, and Sébastien is symbolic for the girl.
Okay.
So it's like complementary, you know.
Because we at the moment we have this child coming, we don't want to know about his gender. We want this to be a surprise at the moment of the birth. So we are thinking of both options.
Yes.
So for me, it would, if it's a girl, it would be the name of my grandmother.
Aww.
I'm very, very, very close to her. She's still living, and I'm so lucky.
Yeah.
And I always told her, Grandma, the day I have a daughter, if I have one, I will name her after you. So that's if we have a girl.
Yeah.
And for me, it's my father, actually, because it's a tradition. It's a tradition to call your son as your father. No, I would say.
Yeah, I told him, don't say the name.
Careful.
So actually, Henri is called as his grandfather. His father is called as his great-grandfather, and they are always like doing this generation after generation. There is two names, one after the other.
That is very cool. I love that.
And it's a tradition in his family, so I could have said, okay, this name is, and I don't really like, but I love his father's name, so I said, okay, of course.
Sounds
I'm so happy.
Amazing. Yeah, that sounds like you guys are all planned out and you know exactly what you're gonna do depending on a boy or a girl, and that it has meaning to it, which is super special. So that is all I have for questions for today. You both did a wonderful job, and thank you for taking the time to do this with us. And I will, I will let you guys go.
Thank you so much for watching this moment.
See
Talk to you soon.
Bye.
Thank you. Goodbye.